When it comes to the other updates in the brackets, quickly going over it, we do have a Goblin. Goblin takes down Rebellion 2-0, and then there were some walkovers. This is also why the stream was a little bit late. I actually wanted to cast Nightmare versus Classic, but neither one had access to the PTR, so there was a walkover. Goblin already in the quarterfinals, thanks to the walkovers over Nightmare and Classic. Again, for those that are curious, this is played on the PTR. You do have to download the PTR ahead of time to actually play in the tournament. It is not a part of the base game necessarily. It is a separate download. But here we go. We have our fresh series. We have our round of 16 match, and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Terran player representing Weibo Gaming. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Gen G Esports. It is Trap. Not Cure. That's For those that maybe don't tune into our other broadcasts, the application that we use for intros, the fanfare and the splash screen that we use, the application doesn't really like the PTR. As I just mentioned, the PTR is a separate kind of client. It's a separate download, and because of that, the intros might be a little bit wonky for a while. So I do apologize, but we know who it is. It's Trap and Oliveira. It's fine, Pappy, it's fine. Let's go. When it comes to other updates, Lunacy got a walkover over Mocha, and Lunacy is facing off against Shin in the round of 16. We're going to be focusing on the lower half of the brackets for the time being, and then we'll be able to follow this to its conclusion, and maybe catch into some Shin, maybe some Goblin, maybe some Lunacy. We'll catch up on those additional matches. We'll get there. We will get there. But now we are going to be embracing ley lines. Again, this map is not the shortest map in the map pool, but relatively short of rush distance. But the big advantage of this map is the terrain. Because of the ramps, because of the choke points, we have seen many a player attempt and fail to all in, trying to break this location, trying to break this third base, and also trying to break this natural position as well, as a player can very easily rotate between this location here on the left and this location here on the right. So it can be quite difficult to push in. Because of that, we expect to see some longer games instead, as the defender's advantage is quite powerful on ley lines, especially early on. Once we get into our 4-base setup, and even then, we do have a very narrow ramp coming into the 4th, likewise here on the left-hand side as well. Oh, as we will have a pause. Hopefully everything is okay. It's all good. You know, maybe some Uber Eats at the door. Some food has arrived. More than understandable. Just waiting for our food to arrive. All good. Or maybe some technical issues. Regardless, we are more than happy to wait, and hopefully everything is okay. If need be, we can always resume from replay. But oh, looks like we are good. We are back. And we die back in. Here we go. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice. Trap going to be going for a Twilight Council opener. Is not going for the Stargate or the Robo. Twilight Council for Trap. This should be leading into Blink. And the question becomes, how many gateways? Is it going to be 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, or 4-gate Blink Stalkers? We'll keep an eye on the gateway counts. Meanwhile, across the map, the initial Adept and Zell do bust into the main. Decent kiting here from Oliveira, but 2 Marines go down. There's 1 Marine left. It's on the run. No, the Marine goes down. The Zealot takes down the Marines, gets into the mineral line, and can we get any SCVs? Ooh, not quite. Look at the useless tab. That was 5 Marine kills, but the SCVs lived. They did survive in the end. Meanwhile, another Adept does make it into the mineral line, but Oliveira is keeping up. Is going to be keeping up. Ooh, does force the shade. Trap gets the hell out of there. And now we can settle in. We can settle in. Oliveira getting to his 1-1-1. Meanwhile, across the map, Trap getting to his own 2-gate setup. Sorry, did I say 2 gateways? 3-gate setup, 3-gate Blink. 3-gate Blink Stalkers for Trap. Very safe play. It is a little bit assertive. It does give you map control, that is true. It does mean that Trap's 3rd base is going to be a little bit later, but he will have additional Stalkers to make sure that Oliveira doesn't get into any shenanigans. So I'll say just very safe play here from Trap. Getting into 3-gate blink. There's that third, now being thrown down. Trap will have extra gateways for extra warpins, in case there were to be a move out. Meanwhile, back at home, we do have our 2-1-1 setup. Oliveira throwing down his Raxes, getting his bunker ready at the natural. So far, decent SimCity, getting his tanks in position. Now, just because this isn't 4-gate blink doesn't mean Trap can't be aggressive with those Stalkers. So Oliveira, he has to take care. Has to be secure. So far, we have a tank and a bunker on the low ground. There's soon to be a tank on the high ground as well. Oliveira actually hasn't seen much. He has no idea what Trap is really up to. Liberator will give some scouting information, but for the most part, Oliveira is playing blind. He is playing blind. Trap moving out with his Stalkers. Making his way towards towards the main. Remember, he can blink up in. Oh, does go for the dive. His Cyclone is targeted down. The tank does get a good amount of volleys off. Does pick away at the Stalkers, but oh, it's barely out of range. The add-ons are exposed, and Combat Shields is going to be denied. Massive pickup. Combat Shields is denied. At least it wasn't Stim. You know, Stim is continuing, and you can see Oliveira reposition his tank, now within range of his add-on. But that is, of course, something that you have to adapt to over time with the new map pool is, you know, your SimCity, your positioning, your main. This Trap is getting his third up and running. Taking up, getting into charge, not just blink. The Bay is on the way, that'll be for Colossus production. Trap so far looking quite comfortable. And again, Trap's goal here isn't to kill or break Oliveira, it's to delay. It's, oh my god, he's going for the tank, he's crazy. Does get it. And doesn't lose a single Stalker. Very nicely done. Does catch the tank. Has to back up. Does have to retreat. Yo, shout out to Perodosta in the chat. Oh my, it's been so long. Annyeong haseyo. Quack, quack. Good to see a familiar face. Good to see you, Pat. As Trappy does send out his Prism towards the main. Again, Trap just taking it forth. Again, he had no intention of killing Oliveira. Just picking up whatever he can. As Oliveira moves out, Trap moves in. Headed for the main. There's still that tank in position. The Zaltar dropped in. Going for the mineral line, going for the tank. Can he get it? He can. The tank does go down. Massive pickup. The Zels are saved. Trap just being so delicate with his control here. We saw earlier the Stalkers got a tank. Not a single Stalker went down. Even here, not a single Zealot went down for a second tank. Very nice control. And again, he's just keeping Oliveira busy while Oliveira macros up. Fourth base is almost done. Colossus production is underway. He's already got his first Colossi. Second one is in production. And you can see how proactive Trap is being. He's being active on the map, so if Oliveira were to move out, Trap can be there to slow down the push. Can be there. As Oliveira moves out with a bio-heavy army, go-plated Marines, Marauders, Widow Mines. Does run into the main force. Nice force fields. Trap holding the line. Well, Ghosts have arrived. Oliveira looking for those EMPs. Spreads out the army. Looking for a way in. Again, while Oliveira's being active, the Prism does dive into the main. They're going for a massive warp in. And does it finish? Oh, it does not. Oh, that was close. A very clutch save there by Oliveira, but he does race back home. Shuts down the Prism, defends the main, but he does run back to the third. Trap maintains map control. His fourth base is untouched. Still has a solid economy. Second robo's on the way for double disruptor production. Is working towards those disruptors. Now, bearing in mind, disruptors have since been nerfed in this patch. They have been changed. The radius is larger, that is true, but they can no longer one-shot Marauders. Full HP Marauders, I should emphasize. DT's waddling in, but they are spotted by Oliveira. Keen eyes. Does scan, does shut them down at the same time. Trappy rotates towards a third. Ooh, takes down the Widowmine. Doesn't commit. Trap being very careful with how he engages. He pulls away. He's waiting for his upgrades, waiting for his tech, waiting for his eventual disruptors. Now, I did emphasize that it doesn't take down a full NG Marauder because depending on how heavily or how the fight is going and how heavily Oliveira does stim, Marauders can still be vulnerable. I've seen that already. 5 SCVs went down to the DT. Not bad. Oliveira's still in 3 bases. Trap is going to be the first to max. He's almost there. Oh. Let's push in. Gets 2 Marines. Gets 2 Marines. Backs up. We'll lose the Observer. 4th base now being taken. You can see Trap getting ready for a DT counterattack. Oh, there is no turret. No detection. No detection at the 3rd. Oliveira is exposed. No army in position either. So Trappy's waiting to pull the trigger. Likewise, Prism towards the natural. And the main army outside of the 4th. So Trappy's setting up a tri-pronged attack. Can Oliveira keep up? There it is. DT's towards that 3rd. Main army rotating in. Does distract. Oh, nice force fields. Oh my god. Catches the Marauders, catches a good chunk of Marines. Zealots into the natural. War Prism into the main. And DTs that wreak havoc at the same time. 20 SCVs go down. Oh my god. Chaos everywhere in the natural, the 3rd, and the main. And Oliveira, he's getting pulled apart. Trap his main army pushes in. He's going for the planetary. Can he get it? Nice force fields, delays the repair. Vikings pushing in. The planetary will survive. And Trap does not have enough. Does snipe the Vikings. Pulls away. Backs the hell up. But the DTs are still wreaking havoc. 26 SCV kills. Oh my god. Far too many losses. And even though Trap didn't kill the planetary, he still did well. And what did he lose? He lost Dark Templar, he lost Zealous, he lost the War Prism. But he maintained his main army. He didn't lose a single Colossus. The Disruptor count is getting higher and higher. He's got how many? 4 Disruptors. Now he does have to rebuild the War Prism, and that will delay reinforcements. That's the caveat here. That is keeping Oliveira in this. The lack of Prism is giving Oliveira time. DTs, they hit the mineral line once again. Oliveira's coming in for the surround. He's trying to. Does engage, Nova goes up. Up! The splits. Not ideal. But again, Oliveira can take it over to the face. Bleeds out some of the fire. The Vikings, they take down the Colossus. Disruptors are exposed. And Oliveira, he can chase this down. This is his moment. It's going to be zoned back. But again, as I mentioned, the Marauders, they no longer get one shot. Otherwise, that could have been game. I mean, all those low HP Marauders would have been dead in the current patch. And Trap could have taken the fight. So Oliveira, he's still holding on. Still keeping up. Down in SCVs, but his supply is comparable. Does have a larger army supply to work with. Does rotate towards the right-hand side. Trap pushing in. He could get surrounded. Oh. Here we go. The army stems in. The Colossus is exposed. And Oliveira, he comes in from behind. Takes out 1, 2 Disruptors. Every single Colossus as well. It was a trap. Trap gets trapped. He's going to lose everything. This was not the fight to take. He does get 20 SCVs, but he's going to lose his entire army. Zealots are wreaking havoc. They're pushing in towards the main. Workers are going down, but doesn't matter. There's a singular DT. Wreaking havoc as well. 34 SCVs. But what about the Robo army? What about the main army here for Trap? The Marauders are overstimmed. Big EMPs. Takes out the Zealots. Oh, still trading though, and Oliveira, he's losing too much. Yeah, he's losing far too much. He cleans up the army, but GG gets called. There's not enough left over, and Trap, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Trap will take the first game. A very intense game 1. We saw Trap just so active, so aggressive. Even though I was saying earlier how defendable this map is and how fortified you can be on 4 bases, I mean, in a way that was true. Like, Trap's main army wasn't able to achieve too much. He wasn't able to break any position initially, but it wasn't about the main army engagement. It was about the harass. It was about the Zealot run-bys, the DT run-bys, the Stalker aggression as well. We saw Trap who was just picking away at the edges of Oliveira and did eventually pull him apart. And Oliveira, he was forced into an all-in. Even though Oliveira did take a good fight towards the end, he had lost too much of his economy. He had lost too much, he could not rebuild, he could not remax, and he could not sustain those losses. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game 2. Trap, he didn't take any damage across the map. Oliveira, he was just stuck at home almost the entire game. We had some lib harass early on. Did have some lib harass. I think that's all we had. Just some liberator harass and maybe some Hellion harass at the start of the game, but nothing else. Oliveira, he was just contained and stuck at home. And GG. Impressive. Impressive stuff there from Trap. But now it is going to be Oliveira's map of choice. And where do we spawn in? Whispers of Gold. Whispers of Gold. A much smaller map, a much more exposed map as well. And I would imagine Oliveira wants to be the aggressor this time. I think he's had enough defending, wants to be active, wants to push, wants to be in Trap's face. Here we go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran representing Weibo Gaming. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss representing Gen G Esports. It is Trap. Not Cure, is Trap. Here we go. We are going to be settling in. Trap does have a lead, but as I mentioned before, this is a very different map. You can see here the third base is very exposed, very large ramp leading into the third, likewise a very large attack path here towards the north as well. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, similar kind of state of affairs here. There are rocks, which do make things a little bit more narrow, but they can be knocked down, and it can be much more difficult to defend as opposed to ley lines. When it comes to these main pushes, Oliveira, double gas. Double gas opener here from Oliveira. He's going double gas into a CC, into a faster factory. Delayed command center for Oliveira because of the double gas. And we'll see what this leads into. This could be for this could be for reactor Cyclone production. This could be for a Widowmine drop. Could be for an early tank push with Cloak Banshees. Oliveira has potential. He has options. He has options with these gases. We'll see where he goes with it, as there is that factory. Meanwhile, back at home, standard opener. Standard opener here by Trap. All the quacks in the chat. Beautiful, beautiful. And hello, Trap. What's going on? What's happening? Did go for the gate cyber expand. Standard opener initially here by Trap, but the probe is lying in wait here towards the top right-hand corner of the map. The Twilight Council has been placed, and Trap is tempted to throw down a proxy pylon. Never mind. I got excited, Papi. I got excited. Ay. I see Cronus in the chat. Cranky Ducklings on Chichijik. ¿Qué tal, Papi? ¿Qué tal? Annyeong haseyo. Good to see you. Good to see you, Cronus. Good to see you. As the probe just came in for a scout, did confirm the timing of the CC, so Trap, he's aware that it's a later command center for Oliveira. And, ooh, this looks like a very aggressive build. Now, this is a Rax before Starport. And if Oliveira throws down a third Rax before Starport as well, this could be the beginning of a two-base all-in. Meanwhile, Depths have arrived. They delayed the CC. They take down the Marines. Already some massive damage. They get into the main. God, I'm dying. They bust into the main base. They get a full scout as well. Trap, he sees the late Starport and the early tank production. Yeah, this is going to be very committed by Oliveira. Meanwhile, across the map, the Reaper gets in, gets 2 probe kills. 2 workers go down. And does confirm Blink. How many gates? 2 gateways in the main and 1 gateway in the natural, so 3 gate Blink. The same build 2 games in a row for Trap, but a very different build from Oliveira. Again, very fast stim. Fast stim production. Yep, 3rd Rax. 3rd Rax is on the way. 2 base all in. This should be a 2 base all in from Oliveira. He might even pull the boys. Now, I did mention before that this map is more conducive to all-ins. I do think that it is harder to defend on this map than on others, so this does make sense for Oliveira. The problem is that Trap scouted. The problem is that Trap, he saw that there was no starport. He saw the 2nd Rax. He hasn't seen the 3rd Rax. True, like Trap hasn't seen everything, but he's seen enough to play safe. He has seen enough. Warping in extra stalkers. Setting up back at home. Now we have the starport on the way. And Oliveira should be working towards the stim timing. Should soon be pushing. I'm sure he's going to be waiting for his medevac. So you can see here we have a reactor on the factory. This should be for an add-on swap for medevac production. And then Oliveira can push. You can see here as well, only 1 eBay, 1 upgrade on the way. +1. But before Oliveira can move out, before he can get into his medevacs, the stalkers are pushing. I do like this from Trap. I do think that it's on Trap to slow down the push, to pick away and get 1 or 2 marine kills. Ideally a medevac, that would be insane. But every marine kill will help. As Trap is taking a 3rd. Oh, Oliveira, he does spots. Oh my, he types in, he's crazy. Gets a Cyclone. Cyclone goes down, gets a marine as well. Massive pickup. Stim is done in 1 second, just in time to blink away. Whew. Trap does blink out. He trades 1 Stalker for 1 Cyclone and a handful of Marines. The Observer did confirm the production. No 3rd CC. You can see how careful Trap is being with that Observer. Confirms that Stim is done. Oh, I'm not fond of this blink. Trappy gets punished. He gets punished for it. 1, 2, 3 Stalkers go down. Massive pickups. That was not worth of a Trap. A strong start for Oliveira. Trap, he got too overconfident. He got cocky. And Trap has to get the hell out of here. Pulls back. Colossus on the way. Shield batteries are being thrown down. Trappy's getting ready for the push. And here it comes. Here it comes. It's going to hit with Stim, with combat shields. +1. It is going to finish in time for the move out. For the assault. You can see Trap trying to slow down the push, trying to find it. Picks up a Marine. Oliveira's aware. Oliveira, he doesn't make his way across the map. There's an Observer in position. He backs off. But again, Oliveira is quite committed here with the build. Still rotating around, trying to catch Trap off guard. 2 shield batteries here at the 3rd. You can see Trap taking this very seriously with those 2 shield batteries. And here come the reinforcements. Gonna be 4 medevacs full of bio, full of Marines and Marauders. Concussive Shell is done. So is +1. And the Observer does spot this. Wow, Trap, he sees everything. But is he ready? This is not much of an army. Where are the force fields? Force fields, they slow down the push. Massive swipes on the Marines. Trap is holding. Trap is holding on. Rest of his army coming together. Oh. Gets a Marauder. Very nice control. Doesn't lose the Stalker. More reinforcements on the way. Now, Oliveira is getting a 3rd CC behind this, but this is a very delayed 3rd CC. Like, this push still needs to get damage done. Stims in. This area is much more wide open. But Trap playing it carefully, pulls back to the shield batteries. On the one hand, yes, there's no more shield battery overcharge, but, I mean, shield batteries, they still come into play. They still help support. Trap moving out. Ooh, takes the mine shots to the face. Drop on the left-hand side. Trap is in position. Trap is in position. Nice force fields. They lock down the army. Marines and Marauders go down. And Trap is holding. Trap is not just holding on, he is going for a Dark Shrine behind this as well, going for some DT counterattack. Oliveira still stuck on 2 bases. Just now taking a 3rd. And Trap, he's had enough defending. He's breaking out. Also, the vision here is insane with the pylons, with the probe in position as well. Trap sees all, getting his 4th base. The Observer gets eyes on the would-be 3rd. Oliveira looking for the Observer, but he doesn't find them. And now Oliveira, he's forced to go back home. He's back home, he's taking a 3rd, he's making SCV, saturating. And you can see how quickly the momentum shifts. Initially, initially Oliveira was the aggressor. He had map control. Now Trap does instead. The momentum has swung from one player to the other. See Trap getting ready for some Zealot harass into the main. Oh, the Prism is spotted by the Marine. Very nicely done here by Oliveira. Getting in position with the Vikings. Likewise, Zealot on the right. DT's moving in as well. Oh! Looks like, once again, we do have a slight issue here. We saw Oliveira had to pause earlier, and hopefully everything is okay. Hopefully nothing serious. Oh. But we are more than happy to wait. Hopefully, again, there's nothing serious going on. Maybe it's just a tech issue. And we are more than happy to wait here. Oliveira to prepare. Also, thankfully, this is a pause kind of during an interim where there's no action happening. There's no big fight occurring. Trap is getting ready for some harass. He's getting ready for a Zealot run by and ready for DT harass as well. But he has yet to pull the trigger. Also, what I can quickly say as well is that we do have a second robot and Disruptor production has begun. So Trap is getting into his final form, getting into the mid game. We're getting there. Interesting, Chijik has color text. It does. But here we go. We do switch on over. We're back. We're good to go. And we'll see if Oliveira can hold. Now remember, he has Vikings ready in the main for that War Prism. Meanwhile, the Prism does rotate on the right-hand side. Again, the Prism got scattered earlier, so Trappy is going for another route. Main army is just designed to distract. He's trying to keep Oliveira's attention here on the front lines. Scan into the main. DT gets 11 SCV. Oh my god, 11 SCVs already. Yeah, DT in the natural, DT in the main. Workers are going down. That's going to be 16 SCV kills. That is brutal. 16 workers full. The Prism has yet to pull the trigger. And again, Trap's main armor was only distracting. And here comes the move out. Now the Observer does spot the army. And that will tell Trap to hit the natural. He knows. He sees the move out. He's ready for the counterattack. Back at home, he's preparing. Shield batteries are on the way. Zealots, they go for the natural. Even into the main. And Oliveira, he is committed. Disruptor's getting in position. Oliveira stepping in. Dust him up the ramp. And can Trap hold? Vikings, they push forward. Nova's going up. Massive connections on the Ghost. Oh my god, the Ghosts go down. But so are the Colossus. Yeah, Colossus are falling one after the other. The Marauders, they stim on in. And Trap, he has to retreat. He has to back off. But across the map, the Zealots are wreaking havoc. They came with the production. SCVs are falling. So are Marines, so are Marauders. And Oliveira, it's all or nothing for the Terran. Nova goes off. No big connection. DT does waddle in. And Oliveira likewise diving into the main. He's going for the main base. Zealots come in from behind. They catch a tank. DTs are wreaking havoc. Is there a scan? There is. Just barely. But the Novas are becoming a little bit too much. They take down the Marauders. GG gets called. Oliveira, he runs out of steam. And Trap will take the series 2-0. GG. Ooh. Oh my god. GG, well played, Trap. He will take the series 2-0, will advance on into the quarterfinals. My condolences to Oliveira. He did fight hard, did fight well, but again, Trap, what I want to emphasize in both Game 1 and in Game 2 is his map vision and map awareness and map control. We saw that in full force both in Game 1 and in Game 2. Despite the fact that Oliveira was the aggressor in Game 1, Trap, he was able to confirm, able to slow it down, he was able to be in position in time. It was very impressive how Trap was able to keep an eye on the movement of Oliveira, survive the early game, get into the mid game, and just pull Oliveira apart. Very impressive, very technical play there from Trap. GG. GG, well played. Trap will take the series, and with that, we need to catch up on the bracket and figure out where exactly we are headed. Well, let's go. Excellent. check out the bracket on Challenge, over on TL or over on Challenge itself. We do have the quarterfinals getting underway.